Good afternoon. Welcome back. This is Michael Scarbossa with my Save, Invest and Grow Your Money Q&A. So I hope you all had a great weekend. Today I'm going to have a bit of a chat with you guys about the number one thing holding you back from financial success. So I see this quite often, especially with talking with people, and it comes up a lot in conversation. So, the fact of the matter is that if you're not happy about your financial situation, then there's highly likely that you've got some limiting beliefs around money. If you didn't have those limiting beliefs, you'd already be where you want to be. So, obtaining financial success, about 85% of it is all psychological. It's all up here in the mind. Only about 20% of it is strategy. And in the beginning, as you're starting on your investment journey and your financial journey as an individual and as a family, then those strategies are actually quite simple. So but the thing is getting the mindset right, because so many people just don't even start on those strategies. And one of the big things is because people just don't know where to start. I see it all the time, or they're confused. There's a lot out there. But at the end of the day, it's focusing on our finances is something that we really should and must do. The majority of us are all trading our time for money. We went to school, we've got ourselves a trade, we've gone to uni, we've got ourselves good jobs. We're great employees, and some of us earn a lot of money out of being a great employee. But at the end of the day, we're still just trading our time for money. So that means if we're not at work, we're not getting paid. So it's that simple. If you don't have a job, you're not getting paid. Now, in essence, trading our time for money, that is a poor trade. We should be looking to build our own personal family's wealth, our own personal wealth. So at some point, at some time in the future, we've actually got money that we can live off the profit from our investments rather than having to work till 60, 65, work forever for some people. When they get to 65, their super's still not going to cut it. So I don't know if you want to be in that position. I certainly don't want to be in that position. I certainly don't want to work for the rest of my days in a job that doesn't really enthuse me, right? I would much rather that I've got income coming in from smart decisions I've made around my money and investing my money that allows me to then have choices around the way that I want to spend my time, the choices around the way that I want to work. I choose to do what I want to do for work. I can do it part-time. I can do it in school hours while my kids are at school. That's some of my reasons. That's some of my dreams of why that I wanted to really get in and master my finances. So, the fact of the matter is that finances impact every area of our life. A lot of people say, oh, yeah, well, people with money aren't happy. Well, and I tell you what, when you don't have money, it doesn't help. That's for sure. I'm sure we've all had those challenges. You think about it, all around your lifestyle. Have you got the house that you want? Are you driving the car that you want? Are you living the life that you want from the types of clothes that you want to buy, that sort of thing? Are you going on the holidays that you want to go on, or can you not afford to go on the holidays you want to go on? You might want to go to a nice resort in Fiji or something, and maybe you simply just can't afford that at this point in time. So you need to do something different to achieve that sort of stuff. It impacts the schools our kids go to. It impacts our health, our well-being, the type of food that we buy, gym memberships. What happens if we've got unexpected issues with our health, or even, a lot of us have probably got aging parents. What if our parents have got health challenges and they actually need some help with money around those challenges? They're the sorts of things that we've really got to think about. Going on. And if money is sold for you, wouldn't it be great to actually just give back to the community, give back to someone really in need that can't fend for themselves, particularly children, third world countries, that sort of thing. So, but anyway, getting back to the point at hand, or what I really wanted to discuss today is what do I mean by limiting beliefs around money? Well, that's the sort of the stories and excuses you tell yourself about money. It's really that simple. And with that, it's what do you believe about money? This is where I really want you to sort of go in and just have a bit of a think about you know, your behavior, your beliefs around money. What do you believe around money? What are the things you say to yourself about money, and maybe, sorting out your family finances or becoming more wealthy. What questions do you ask yourself? When you have a think about this, and you sit down and you get out a pen and start writing these things down, and I absolutely encourage you to do this, to go sit down with a notepad and write down, okay, what are all the things that I think about money? What are all the things that I believe about money? What are all the things that I say, that I say about money, the questions when people are asking you something, or you think you want something, saying that you can't afford it. Well, it might be that certainly you can't afford it, but what are you doing about to be able to afford that? What are the primary beliefs society's imprinted on us? Like, you hear it all the time. Statements like money doesn't grow on trees, life's short, so enjoy yourself, meaning, pretty much spend more than you earn, or, live month to month. I don't think that's a great strategy, even though we all like to have fun, but you've still got to, think about your future. Here's another one: money is the root of all evil. Well, that's an interesting one. Well, think about yourself. If you had a lot more money, do you think you would turn evil? I'm assuming you're not already an evil person. Most of us aren't, but have a think about that. I think it would just make you more of the person that you already are, particularly, if you're a really generous person. So just really think about that, and the disempowering stories you tell yourself, the disempowering questions you ask yourself, things you tell yourself. Like, you're probably telling yourself, I'm not good with money, I'm not good with numbers, it's all so confusing, I never have enough money to get ahead. All of these things are disempowering. They're taking away from you succeeding on your financial journey. Now, what I want you to do is do this exercise. Just sit down, really think about this stuff, write it all down, write down all these little beliefs, write down these disempowering questions you ask yourself. And what I want you to do is just have a bit of a focus on what it will ultimately cost you if you continue to say those statements to yourself, to say those questions to yourself that prevent you from getting ahead financially. Because, the harsh reality is that, less than 3 marriages survive. That's not a good track record. That's not a great ratio. I certainly don't want to be part of that ratio. And one of the biggest reasons why marriages don't survive is financial stress. Think about that. So, if you start to think about what could ultimately cost you, it could cost you your house, could cost you any sort of financial gains that or wealth that you've built already, could cost you seeing your kids. No one wants to end up in that sort of situation. So you've really got to think about that. What will ultimately cost you? Because if you keep down that path, statistics, it's pretty hard to run against statistics, and, less than 1 in 3 marriages surviving, that's a pretty tough one. So I'm just using that as an example, but really gives some food for thought. So, list down those top 3 disempowering questions or limiting beliefs that you keep saying to yourself. Think about what it will really cost you, because this is really going to dagger you. This is what's going to help you go, oh, I should do something about my finances, and going, no, I must do something about it. I have to change this, and get determined about changing it. So, and with that, once you list those few things, just have a look at it and go, okay, the simple way to solve this is, what's the opposite of that? What do I want? I don't want that statement. If you don't want to tell yourself that statement or ask yourself that question, what's a more empowering question? What's something that is going to get you resourceful and want to strive and get results? And write down that statement. And that's what you need to focus on, because that's really going to counter the negative thought patterns and language patterns that you already have in your mind. So, you really have to go from, instead of thinking, I have to create, financial wealth for my family or for myself, to really wanting to. Because when you want to, you'll take action, because, people don't take action on what they need to do. They take action on what they want to do. And you've got to get this to a want. And doing this process will certainly help that. You've got to turn your needs into musts. You got to get determined to find a way. Get resourceful, get educated, start to read up on this stuff. Join my channel. I'm sharing lots of great information here on the basics of getting ahead and setting yourself up for financial success. And the other thing about all this is you will never make more than you think you're worth. And we're all worth so much more than we think we are. We're our own worst enemies. And the easiest way to build some self-worth is invest in yourself. Get some education, get some momentum, set some little goals. Follow through on what you say you're going to do. Keep the promises that you make to yourself and commit to them. You achieve a couple of those things and your self-worth will grow immensely, and you'll get so much more confidence in that, and will absolutely help you on your journey. We've all heard the rags to riches story. We can all think, okay, well, someone's got more money, or they were born with a silver spoon in their mouth, or whatever. But if you look hard enough, and you don't have to look too far, we can all find a rags to riches story where someone started with, the most challenging circumstances in life, and now they've succeeded. What have they done differently? They've just focused on different things. They've focused on being determined. They've focused on the language in their head to make sure that they don't sabotage themselves on this journey. So I know you can do it. This is a really great exercise to do. I know when I've done this exercise initially and I continue to do it, it certainly keeps me on my journey and keeps me enthused to achieve a greater lifestyle for me and my family, and make sure that I have a life worth living. It's really as simple as that. So I hope you've really enjoyed that message today. It's probably a bit of a challenging one for a lot of people. It's something that you've really got to sit down and have a think about. And it's not always an easy conversation to have with yourself, but I can assure you it's a valuable conversation. And I really encourage you to go and have this conversation with yourself, because it will help you immensely. Anyway, that's enough from me today. Like I said, I hope you got great value out of that message. And feel free to check out my free PDF on how I went from no savings to buying my first investment property. I'll leave the link in the chat on the chat in this video, so you can go there and have a look at michaelscarbossa.com. And have a great week, guys, and I'll speak to you again soon. See you later.